Magandang araw mga kaibigan. Gusto kong magbigay ng reaksyon sa pahayag ng isang Amerikano na ang America does not love the Philippines. Ginagamit lang tayo ng Amerika at kung hindi tayo gagalaw, we just sit down, nako, disaster will come upon us. Okay? May tatlo akong kaibigan, mga subscribers, nagpadala sa akin ng video na ito. Si Aw, si Meli, and si Conrad Nel. Sabi niya, Sir, anong masasabi mo nito? Anong reaction mo? So ito, magre-react ako. Okay, so ito, in-interview sa isang press conference, emergency press conference. The danger of nuclear war is real and must be stopped. Hindi ko alam kung saan yung venue ng press conference na ito. Merong nagtanong at may sumagot. Ang nagtanong, isang Filipino freelance broadcaster journalist, si Maria Catherine Cruz Suba. Ano siya sa Radio Mindanao Network. Siya ang host ng DZXL, ang ating Katipunan show. At ang tinanong niya, si Scott Ritter, isang former UN Nuclear Weapons Inspector and former US Marine Intelligence Officer. And this Marine officer, na-assign siya sa Pilipinas noong 1986. Okay, iparinig ko lang mismo sa inyo, yung hindi pa nakinig nito, yung tanong at sagot ni Scott Ritter, then magbibigay ako ng reaction.
And U.S. Marine Intelligence Officer, and actually to anyone else who wants to answer, a proxy war is being orchestrated in this part of the world, our country, the Philippines. Our country is actually being used by the U.S. in its intent of war against China. And according to geopolitical analysts, the Philippines will be the next Ukraine. The Philippine President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., has allowed additional 9 EDCA sites, or more appropriately 9 U.S. military bases all over the country. The armed forces of the Philippines seem to be following orders from their U.S. counterpart. Drumbeats of war is being heard almost every day. Xenophobia is being propagated on mainstream media. Almost every week, there's an incident of Chinese Coast Guard that water cannons a Philippine vessel at the South China Sea. Do you think a false flag operation can happen here as tensions are getting worse? What do you propose for this to stop? Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for the question. Just so you know, I have a little bit of background in the Philippines. In 1986, I was deployed there as a platoon commander to reinforce the Subic garrison after the fall of the Marcos regime. There was concern about the New People's Army, so I have a warm spot in my heart for the Philippines. Let's build upon what Colonel Wilkerson had said earlier. The United States is incapable of fighting a sustained conflict against a peer-level force. The United States cannot fight and engage China and win. We will not beat the Chinese. We cannot beat the Chinese, and we know this, and yet we're using the Philippines to create the conditions of potential conflict with the Chinese. Please understand that for the Filipino people, this is a recipe for disaster. You think America is your friend. So too did the Ukrainian people, and they are dying by the hundreds of thousands. Friends don't let friends die in those quantities. The Ukrainians have been displaced by the tens of millions. Friends don't let friends have their cities destroyed in this manner. Friends don't let friends have families separated, have mothers and children destined to a life of refugee status and perpetual poverty. That's not how friends behave. America has never been the friend of the Ukrainians, and we are not the friends of the Filipinos. We don't like you. If we did like you, we wouldn't be doing this to you. We are using you. You are a tool, nothing but a tool, and when the tool ceases to be useful, we will discard you. And discard you means usually after a war that devastates you. We are using you to gain some sort of momentary leverage over the Chinese. We will fail, the Chinese will win, and you will be destroyed. End of story. It's high time the Filipino people pressure their government to start sitting down and engaging the Chinese government responsibly. China is not your enemy. China is your neighbor. China is your friend. China doesn't want war. And if you would engage China in diplomacy, and as we've all indicated here, America has long since lost the skill set necessary to carry out diplomacy. But
okay, medyo mahaba yung salita niya. So, ito, binasa ko ang mga comments, no? May mga nagsasabi na well said, well explained. Ganahan sila, they agree sa sinasabi ni Scott Ritter na America does not love the Philippines. Hindi tunay na kaibigan ng Amerika. Meron ding nagsasabi na ano daw ito, lapdog o tuta ng mga Chinese. Ano daw, nabayaran daw. Okay, so I suggest timbang-timbangin natin ang ano. Ako, I'd like to give my opinion, my reaction based on my personal observation. Talaga bang minamahal tayo ng Amerika? Are they really our friends? Kasi sabi niya, hindi daw tayo tunay na kaibigan ng Amerika eh. Okay, let's cite history. Sabi niya, pag ginagamit lang daw tayo ng Amerikano, pag hindi na tayo kailangan, i-discard tayo. Pag natapos ng giyera, iwanan na rin. Okay, let's talk of World War II. Grabe ang devastation ng Pilipinas noong World War II. Bakit? Nandito ang mga Amerikano eh. During the war, pumutok na. History will tell us, kung pag-aralan nyo ang history, hindi tayo tinulungan ng Amerika nung pumutok na ang gera, nung inatake na tayo, December 8, 1941, pinabayaan tayo ng Amerika. Pinabayaan yung mga Filipino and American soldiers na lumaban ito, wala tayong suporta. Bakit? Ang inuna ng Amerika, yung Europe, yung pakikipaglaban nila kay Hitler, kasi ang national interest nila, delikado sila kung mapabayaan si Hitler at manalo si Hitler sa Europe. Nako, susunod na ang Amerika. Aatakihin ni Hitler ang Amerika. Tayo malayo ang So pinabayaan tayo ng US government noong World War II. Not a single supply ammunitions. Kailangan ni General MacArthur ng suporta para lalaban. Paano? Hindi naman puros tapang na lang ang ilalaban ng mga Filipino and American defenders sa Batanin Corridor. Kung dumating lang sana ang bala, pagkain, firearms, tatagal tayo. Kailang wala, pinabayaan talaga tayo nung World War II. Inuna nila ang kanilang kapakanan kasi takot sila na makaabot si Hitler doon sa US soil. Then after the war, anong ginawa nila sa mga Filipino soldiers na lumaban in their name? By the way, I'd like to make myself clear, hindi ako anti-America. There are good things about America, yung American ideals of democracy, freedom, liberty, ang gaganda nun. marami tayong nakuhang maganda from the American government. Kaya lang, ang sinasite ko lang yung pangyayari. Okay? Pinabayaan tayo noong World War II, hindi tayo sinuportahan. Noong natapos ng gyera, ang ating mga ninuno, yung mga defenders sa Batanin Corridor, initsapwera nila, hindi nila na-recognize ang mga services, walang pensyon. Bahala na kayo dyan. Ito ngayon yung sinasabi ni Scott Ritter na kung kailangan pa nila tayo, gamitin. Pagtapos na, wala na. Pinabayaan ang ating mga ninuno. Mabuti na lang, mga few years after the war, nireklamo, may mga nag-lobby, may mga nag-follow up. Isa na yan si then Congressman, Senator, then President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. dahil lumaban siya mahal niya ang kanyang mga Filipino guerrillas. Naglabi, unti-unti, pinagbibigyan tayo at may mga na-recognize. May nag-pension, may naka-US citizen. But mas marami ang hindi. Isa na yan yung tatay ko. World War II veteran yung tatay ko. Never na nakatanggap siya ng benefits from the American government. Kaya, I am speaking from experience. Pinabayaan tayo. Next. After the war, binigyan tayo ng independence. Anong ginawa? Yung kalaban nila ang Japan, yun ang binuhusan ng billions of dollars na pondo. Kaya madaling umahon, madaling naka-recover ang Japan. Tayo, pinabayaan. Ganun lang yun. Okay, ngayon, present. Ang armed forces natin, napabayaan. Dati, panahon ni Marcos Sr., isa tayo sa pinakamalakas na armed forces dito sa East Asia. Dahil may presidente na marunong paglaban ang karapatan, kaya may mga renta ng US bases noon. After that, wala na, unti-unting lumubog ang Pilipinas. Kung talagang alyado pa natin ng US, bakit pinabayaan nila tayo? Bigyan man tayo ng military assistance, mga tira-tira, mga lumang kagamitan, yung Huey helicopter, binibigyan tayo, kailang pinaglumaan, barko pinaglumaan. Ganyan ba ang tunay na kaibigan? O ito na lang, 2024, ang US Congress nag-approve $95 billion na military aid sa mga alyado nila. O magkano ang ibinigay sa Ukraine? I think 61 billion US dollars. Ang Israel, 26 billion US dollars. Ang Taiwan, 8 billion US dollars. Ang Pilipinas, 0. O, yan ba? Kaibigan ba? 0. These are facts. And then, para hindi naman tayo mukhang kawawa, ay nag-promise sila next year, bibigyan daw tayo ng $500 million. Wow naman. Palakpakan natin sila, pasalamatan. Ang dahil sa kanila, dahil sa foreign policy ng ating gobyerno, meron tayong EDCA, additional EDCA sites. Nandyan na ang Cagayan na Isabela na basis nila, malapit na sa Taiwan. Nandito na ang kanilang medium range capability missile system, yung mga ballistic missiles na kayang targetin ng China. Nako, kaya ito na, yung danger of nuclear war is real. Madadamay at madadamay tayo sa nuclear war between Russia, China, yan, magka-tandem, and the US. We are sitting ducks ng nuclear warheads dahil sa mga nangyayari yan. Kaya, I agree with that reporter, ang tapang ng report na yan, Maria Catherine Suba Cruz. Tama, there is an ongoing proxy war. At tama yung sabi ni Scott Ritter na magising tayo. Let's engage our government, mag-ingay tayo para malaman nila na hindi na lang tayo basta-basta. The future of our children, our grandchildren are at stake. Kawawa. So, in short, I agree with this Marine officer Kung sabi nila tuta daw ng China, I don't care. I have presented historical facts na nagsasabi na hindi talaga tayo tinuturing na tunay na kaibigan ng US. Ginagamit lang tayo as their proxy para makipaggera sa China. In the same manner na ginagamit nila ang Ukraine na makipaggera sa Russia at sila hayahay o sitting pretty. Ganun po ang nangyayari. Salute to this journalists Maria Catan Cruzova and Scott Reiter. They are telling the truth.